Hello YouTube, Alan back with another collection video, a rather belated one, and that's the kind of conclusion to my Nintendo DS, 3DS collection. So I've already done the games. What's left? Well, obviously it's the hardware, and in this case we're going to start very much at the beginning. We're going to start with the good old DS original or DS Fat or whatever you want to call it. So the very first DS that came out, in fact, this one here, I don't know if it's coming across in camera. Nope, it's down here. This is a limited edition model, limited VIP pack. This was released in Europe prior to the kind of full wide release. It was part of the Stars catalogue at that point. And it was kind of interesting to think, getting an item of which they only produced I think 3,000 on the Stars catalogue, and it was actually rather easy. There was no rush on getting this, for me at least. I can't imagine that today, even the way Amiibo sell out. But this came from the Nintendo Stars catalogue, and it came with a full retail copy of Mario, Super Mario Bros. DS. It came with Super Mario 64 DS. It came with the Metroid First Hunt demo, and it came with a WarioWare Touch demo. It also came with a Nintendo VIP t-shirt, which I don't have on hand. But needless to say, being able to get the item early, it was about a month early I think, and getting it less than the retail price, or at least less than the Irish retail price, was awesome. It's hard to believe that this system is nearly 10 years old. But yes, that's the original DS, and for those that haven't seen it, obviously the DS started with the dual screen, and I think that's actually the original little foamy inserty thing to protect the screens. Still on, yeah, but that's the original one. Screen protectors are on it. Still in good condition actually. I managed to pleased with myself that even despite some crazy, you can actually, it won't come off on camera, you can actually see where obviously the screen protector had taken a beating from too much Elite Beat agents. The system was pretty good for its time. The form factor is obviously clunky, but I thought it was relatively stylish. I still do. I don't think it deserves the flack it gets. Its volume is down here, which is okay because you tend not to hit it so much. It had, of course, DS, and it had Game Boy Advance compatibility, and it was reasonably comfortable. The screens were a little dull, to be fair, though, and you either had an option of turning the brightness on or completely off. So, not the best screens. It was a good system, though. I certainly revolutionary, and the reason why I got the VIP version is because I really wanted to get in, with the whole DS thing. I thought it sounded very interesting from the get-go. Just a different form of gameplay. What did they say on the back then? Get ready to experience a totally new way to play video games. They were right. With a revolutionary touchscreen, reach into games for more direct and faster control of your actions. Rub, tap, touch, write, and draw to interact in a whole new way. We just talk about the two screens, wireless multiplayer games, up to 16 people in PictoChat. PictoChat, that was pointless, like a chat where you could only have it locally. Play all of your favourite Game Boy Advance games in single player mode in the DS too. So yeah, of course it came with PictoChat built in, which is funny because then THQ tried to have their own paid for version called Ping Pals. But anyway, that's the first one. That was the start of my DS collection. Let's move on. So we'll put this down. Oh, it also came with the DS strap, which had the little touch thumb pad on the end. And you were meant to, in Mario, that was one of the control options where you could use the thumb on this strap as a kind of a thumb input on the touchscreen for the analog stick. It worked okay. Not great though, as that's why they got rid of it. So moving on, the first revision. The first major revision, and this was a massive change, was the DS Lite. So I actually got this on launch day, rather unusually for me. I don't normally get things on launch day. Well, unless you have to, so anyway, to get them. But I happened to be on my holidays at the time. Well, I say holidays. Staycation type of thing. I went out to get this. And it was actually a bit of a nightmare to get the black edition, because it was black and white versions at the time. And when I got it, eventually, and I got home, there was a bunch of dead pixels, and they were right in the centre of the screen, so I was not happy at all. So it was a bit of a hullabaloo about getting it exchanged, but thankfully I did. And even though, you know, I was there at, you know, to get it at launch, a lot of the shops hadn't even got it in yet. Like HMV didn't get it to like the middle of the day when it was meant to launch, so that was crazy. But the DS Lite, that's my one was the black one. My wife actually got the purple, or sorry, the pink one. I can't tell my colours. Which, just as it turns out, is the one that I happen to have handy. So there we go. It's a much neater form factor, much slicker device, and retains all the functionality of the original, but has, you know, a better screen, better battery, more compact. It basically was. It made the first version feel like a prototype, and this was the, you know, real kind of launching point for the system. Because there we go, same, pretty much a similar button layout. Volume again down there. You have your, this time you got a cover, which was nice for your Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance games would actually stick out a little in this model. They didn't in the original. In this model, they stuck out because the system was smaller. And we had the power on the side, which it's one of those momentary, you push it up for a second. Not the best. Also has a bigger stylus, which is good because I didn't show it all. The stylus on the original ones were rather small, so they were thin, small little yokes. So the DS Lite was, you know, bigger, chunkier styluses, much nicer, and definite improvement. And also in at the side, which was quite convenient. I always struggled to get them in off the top. So the reason why I wanted to get it, you know, fairly readily is because I had really enjoyed my DS, but, you know, this was such a nice upgrade, so much more compact than the original in every dimension, basically better in every single way. And it came out in a load of colours. I couldn't find, as I said, my black one, but I did find a nice crimson black one. So it's got the dual colours, black with the red crimson. I think that's a lovely looking system. But as I said, this is my favourite DS, the DS Lite. I just love the system. Compact, plays GBA games, and you know, plays DS games with a really nice screen. Definitely one to have in your collection. Oh yeah, I was wondering what I found there. Just some weird little rubber DS case holders. I got loads of little knick-knacky bits like that you get at the car boots and whatnot. So after that, they released two more DSs. They released a DSi and a DSi XL, but I actually don't have either of those. So just putting those down. For me, we're moving straight on. I had a DSi, but I sold it actually. I just didn't see the point in keeping it at the time. It wasn't quite the version I wanted to keep in my collection, so I figured I'd move it on. And plus, the DSi, while it has access to the DSi Wear, that became a moot point when I got a 3DS, and it just isn't. You know, it didn't really do anything that the DS Lite didn't do. It had a slightly bigger screen, but it took out the GBA compatibility, so it was kind of like, no good. But anyway, on to the 3DS. And the 3DS launched with a mighty big bloody box. That's a massive box in comparison to the others. So just in comparison, that's the DS Lite box. Way thinner, smaller in every dimension. This was a ginormous. I couldn't believe that a handheld from Nintendo was coming in a box that big. But then, it's a dense enough handheld. Now, me and the 3DS, I got this because, one, Zelda Ocarina of Time was coming out on it, and basically I wanted Ocarina of Time. And two, it was the follow-on to the DS family, and I really enjoyed the DS. And three, I expected Nintendo to deliver in terms of handheld gaming. But this system never, I mean, it's a good system, but never really sold me. And again, we got the nice little cover still in place. So, what's changed? Obviously, you got the kind of thumb slider. You have these extras, rather iffy buttons, if you ask me. They feel cheap, kind of chiclet type of buttons. You have the 3D, which is obviously the big you know, the top screen is 3D and widescreen, and you can turn the 3D on and off. It always bugged the hell out of me that the volume switch was on the side, because whenever I'm playing, I constantly hit the volume. You have the SD card, which was a nice little holder there, so for your downloads and whatnot. And you had a telescopic stylus, because otherwise it's tiny. It's a tiny little stylus, but it does stretch out a bit. And it's a metal stylus too, which was the first time. It also has infrared, an infrared port at the back, and that would have been used for things like it. I don't know if they did do it or does it work with the game, but Walk With Me, the little pedometer, has infrared in it, and the actual cartridge, the DS cartridge, has a little infrared port on it. So presumably the point of the infrared in the 3DS was to negate the need for that type of on-cart kit. But, you know, it's an okay system, but I just was never too keen on the form factor. It plays DS games. Obviously there's no Game Boy port, but that's it. They've done away with the Game Boy line. Oh, I'm after turning it on. And it's got such a long boot up time. Still booting, still. My God, that's still booting. And there we go. Finally booting. That is long for a Nintendo handheld. So turn that back off. Power off. Now it did, of course, introduce loads more, you know, functionality like Street Pass and a proper eShop. And the reason why the box is so big is because it came with a cradle, a charger, and a bunch of AR cards and manuals. So it came with a whole host of stuff, and I suppose the charger with the cradle was the real reason it was this size. And sadly, this will be the last time I would get a Nintendo handheld with a charger, which is crazy. Now all the systems since then use the same chargers, the 3DS, but none of them came in the box. Actually, I tell a lie. I did get one more with it. I forgot about this one. So, one that is still sealed is another 3DS, but this time it's the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3DS Limited Edition Oopie Doopie Doopie one. Now it's funny. I mentioned about getting the Nintendo VIP system, no hassle at all. This was no hassle to get at all either. I went into Game, if not too long before it was being released, and I asked could I pre-order it. They didn't even know they had it for pre-order. I was the only one that looked for it. And I went in then and paid for it and got it on the day. No problem. In fact, I think I had credit, store credit, so it was like no hassle. If you've seen my Nintendo UK Sucks video, you will know that has changed dramatically with getting limited items these days. It's hard to believe you could just wander in a few days before and go, can I get that limited item? Oh, okay. Do I get that off the start catalog? Okay. Nice looking 3DS, comes with Zelda. It's designed to celebrate the 25th anniversary. I wasn't going to play it, so I left it minty fresh. Oh, and keeping that theme, we have some more Zeldas, because this is where we're going. We have another original 3DS, and that's the 3DS XL. So this was the Link Between Worlds special edition. So it has the the gold and the black with the inverted Triforces and whatnot. It's a nice little system actually. It looks like it didn't come with a charger as they say on the box. Okay. Well, at least the boxes are smaller now. Yeah, that's great, isn't it? But I would like the charger. This did correct a number of the flaws with the original model, in my opinion, due to the fact that it's a bit more comfortable and the buttons, see it there. The buttons on the system underneath the bottom screen are proper buttons now. The other ones just felt cheap and weak. But anyway, that's the last 3DS one I have. Moving on then, we have my current model, and it is the new 3DS. The Majora's Mask gold one. Well, gold and black again, I think. So you can see it's even in a smaller box, despite having a slightly bigger screen. Once again, it does not have a charger. And where is it? This is the actual system. So you see the system is nearly the size of the box. It's crazy. But like it makes sense. When you're not putting in a charger, what else are you putting in? So, the most up-to-date system that I have is definitely my favourite 3DS. Well, long shot. The form factor is way more comfortable. the rounded edges compared to, I mean, the original 3DS is very angular. It's got this triple layered thing, and it's just, I don't know, it's just not, it kind of digs in, especially at the front here. Whereas this is nice and smooth, so it's much better for repeat gameplay. The screens are nice and big on this, so, you know, great for games like Majora's Mask. I haven't actually played DS original games, and they are compatible. I'm not too sure, would they be very blown out or pixely because of the size of the screens. It also, of course, comes with the new C-stick, the extra buttons on the back, and the super stable 3D and whatnot. But and only one button underneath the home button, and the other buttons are moved to the side, kind of harkening back to the DS Lite. It has, you know, a lot of the stuff is the usual. Then actually can't even find, where the hell is the stylus in this? Oh yes, they keep moving the styluses in these things. So there we go, medium-sized stylus. Every Nintendo handheld, you end up going, where have they moved the power? Where have they moved the stylus? And whatnot. And best of all, they moved the volume up to here. So no more constantly, as I'm moving my finger here, knocking the volume. So much better. My only complaint, really, is that the top screen is a little wobbly. It's a little loose. It kind of shakes from side to side, which is a bit weird. Like, it's not going to fall off or anything, but it just feels like it should be a little tighter. But anyway, that's my current system. And after the DS Lite, probably my favourite DS family handheld. I still prefer the Game Boy SP, partly due to its form factor, portability, and also its massive catalogue. But this is kind of gaining ground fast. It's a great little system, and the fact that it's compatible with the DS means, yeah, it's got a massive library to play on. If you haven't gotten into the DS, yeah, getting a new 3DS is well worth it in my opinion. So anyway, that's a look at my kind of DS collection. I'm literally swamped with boxes and stuff right now. So we've gone from the DS original, from the DS Fat, which was called Fat at the time, to the DS Fatter, the new 3DS. Yeah, it was like, firstly, I want it smaller, so you get the DS Lite, and eventually you get the 3DS, and then it's, I want it bigger. Crazy. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, I'm trying to find where everything goes. Hope you enjoyed this look at my Nintendo DS hardware collection. That ends my kind of look at my DS stuff, or 3DS stuff, as I think. Maybe we'll revisit in the future if I get new games or whatever, but for now, we'll move on to something else. If there's another collection you'd like me to show or to kind of talk about, let me know in the comments below. I always appreciate the comments, it helps me grow the channel. And on that matter, you know, if you enjoyed the video, please, you know, like, subscribe, or share, because that helps the channel grow as well. It's really appreciated. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, and as always, we'll see you again in the future. Take care.